Hey everyone, welcome back to Raw Synergy TV. I wanted to share my experience with you on this topic because it's something that a lot of people go through and they don't realize what's happening, and I think it's important to share my experience. So back in December of last year, 2009, I started experiencing some really uncomfortable symptoms, and most of it was digestive issues, but there were some other things that were kind of strange because, of course, being on a low-fat, raw vegan diet, when you follow this lifestyle, pretty much you have no symptoms of any kind, and I was doing so good, and then all of a sudden things changed and it didn't make any sense to me at all. And I discovered that I had parasites, and I had a comprehensive test done through a very reputable company. They basically did like a very comprehensive test and found out that I did indeed have parasites. So you say, well, how did you know? What were your symptoms? Well, my symptoms were suddenly having like terrible bloating that would not go away for anything. Like anytime I would eat, my stomach would just balloon up, and I was so uncomfortable. And I was having a lot of discomfort, intestinal discomfort. I started noticing that I was having body odor, and that was so strange because I'd gone for so long without having any, and it was just really weird to me. Also, my sleep was really disrupted and uncomfortable, restless. I was feeling a lot of anxiety and restlessness, and I was having a really hard time even eating because I was so uncomfortable. Every time I would try to eat, my stomach just felt so full. And I don't know if it was all in my head, but I swear I could feel things like digging into my intestines. Like it almost felt like little tiny bites, like they were taking bites out of my insides, and it was so strange and so weird. And I could have been all in my head, but I honestly did feel weird little pains. So I knew that something was wrong. And when I was diagnosed with the parasites, I was prescribed medication to get rid of them. So I took the medication reluctantly, but I really wanted to get rid of these things. I did not want to have them in my body anymore. And since then, I've learned a lot because the symptoms came right back after taking the medication. I was still faced with symptoms. Like I felt a little better, but then I went right back to feeling all the same symptoms again and not feeling well. So I did some research online, and I found out that herbs could really do a good job at getting rid of parasites. So I tried herbs, and I tried all different kinds of herbs, very, very strong herbs that made me feel sick, herbs that made me feel more anxiety, and I took them for a short period of time and felt a little better, but then the symptoms came back again. So I took the pills for a much longer period of time and still felt a little better, but then the moment I stopped taking them, the symptoms came back. I tried stronger herbs, but then the moment I stopped, within like a week, the symptoms came back again. So at that point, I was really, really frustrated, and this was like maybe 5 months or so after being diagnosed. I finally went back to the internet and did more searching and discovered a great website called worldwithoutparasites.com, and learned a lot of information about parasites and a great method to get rid of them. And what I discovered was Parasite Zapper. And the first one I tried was this one right here. It's just a simple little device that emits low-level electricity waves throughout the body. It basically kills and eradicates all parasites, bacteria, virus, fungus, and does it effortlessly, painlessly, conveniently. You just put it against your skin, and basically the parasites and other unfriendly organisms in your body, they can't handle the low-level electricity, and they basically die off very simply. I got this in the mail at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and by 5 o'clock I had purchased the battery and started wearing it. I just stuck it in the waistline of my pants, so it was up against my lower abdomen. At first, because what happens is it draws the acids in your body to the surface of the skin where the Parasite Zapper is located on your body, and it will, in the beginning, if you have a lot of acids in your body, it will start to tingle or itch, and you have to move it right away. After a while, after wearing it, it helps to properly balance the acids in your body, and you don't have that problem. You can leave it in the same place forever. So anyway, I had to move it like every 20 minutes or so in the very beginning because it kept tingling and feeling like it was about to zap me. So I just moved it around, and then at night when I went to bed, I put it against the bottom of my foot, because the only place that you can't get burned is on the palms of your hands or the bottom of your feet. And so I put it against my foot and then put a sock on my foot over it, so it was just resting against my foot while I slept. And the next morning when I woke up, I could not believe the difference in how I felt. I was so relaxed. I was relaxed as if I had taken some sort of muscle relaxant or some sort of painkiller. My body felt so good, and I felt so at peace for the first time, and I don't even know how long. It was such an amazing feeling to feel so relaxed and to have gotten a good night's sleep. So then after that, then I upgraded, because this worked so good, I wanted to try the upgrade. And this Zapper here is what they call the Terminator Zapper, and inside it has a whole bunch of interesting things, including a special Mobius coil, I think that's how you say that, a magnet. It's got some very interesting gemstone crystals in here, along with something that's called orgonite, which just basically produces a really positive energy field. So I upgraded to this one, and I have been wearing it pretty much regularly ever since. Each day that I wore it, I felt better and better and better. And then after about a month, I felt so much better. Like, everything started working better. My digestion started working better, and I just felt overall so different. And it was so nice to finally be back to feeling really good, because when you're following this diet, you feel so amazing, and then to have gotten parasites and then not feel good was just so frustrating. I still wear the Zapper at night on my foot just as protection, just because I feel like I want to protect myself, and I don't want to go back to feeling the way that I felt, because right now I feel like I did in the beginning of starting this diet. I just feel euphoric and amazing and full of life and energy, and I just feel so good. So I'm just gonna keep wearing it until I feel like, I don't need to wear it anymore. I've been wearing it through less and less throughout the day, but still wearing it at night when I go to sleep because it's simple and easy and it doesn't bother me at all. It took a couple nights to get used to wearing it on my foot, but now I don't even realize that it's there. But anyway, the basic Zapper will do the trick. If you do suspect that you have parasites, it's so worth a try. It's so much better than suffering through taking all kinds of herbs or pills or anything. There are other parasite zappers out there that are very strong, and you can only use them for a few seconds at a time. And the die-off that they produce in your body can be very, very uncomfortable and toxic and just not fun. So I chose to go the comfortable route and just get a low-level zapper that doesn't produce any side effects at all, except for just feeling so much better, really. That's what I've been going through for the last, it's a year now. But I feel so much better, and I'm so grateful for these zappers because I really don't know what I would have done without it. They say that we all have some sort of parasite or bacteria or viruses running through our bodies, and when our bodies are really, really healthy, where our immune system is strong enough to fight it off. And I think that the reason why I may have contracted parasites is because I don't think I was eating enough greens, and greens are such an important part of the diet, and they really help to alkalize your body, and they give you all your protein and your minerals, and they just do so much. Like, they're such an important part of your diet. And basically, you should have 2 to 4% of your calorie intake, and even more from greens. So on a 2,000 calorie diet, you'd want to have anywhere from 60 to 120 calories from greens, but really it probably should be even more than that. I think that the more greens you eat, the better. I mean, you want to eat enough fruit so that you get your calorie intake and that you have plenty of energy, but the greens really are so important. And it's possible that if I had been eating more greens, my body would have been more alkaline and I may not have contracted parasites. I don't know that for sure, but it's a theory. So be sure to eat your greens because they're really an important part of the diet. And greens include celery and cucumbers, all your lettuces, and of course your other greens that like spinach and chard, and there's lots and lots of greens out there. So make sure that you're eating plenty of them. Parasites are one of the most misdiagnosed health issues, and sometimes doctors just don't know to check for them. And even when they do, sometimes they'll do a blood test or other types of tests that aren't quite as accurate as doing a comprehensive test, which is done through your stool. I know, disgusting, but that's the best way to get accurate results. That's my story. So I hope none of you have parasites, but if you do, I want you to know that there's a simple solution, and it's affordable and comfortable, convenient, and effective. So that's it for this edition of Raw Synergy TV. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for your wonderful comments. Thank you for subscribing and for befriending me. And that's all. Thanks.